is a clip of the track Rush of Blood from the new album by Vessel of Light called Thy Serpent Rise. A little more about that later. Welcome to the 7th edition of the Metal Wire podcast. I'm Carol, your Metal Princess, and this month we're going to do things a little differently. There are no interviews on deck for the month, so I figured I would talk about some of the things that are going on in the heavy metal world and also get your thoughts on everything that's going on. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for all your support, all your likes, and all the love that you showed the Metal Wire on all the blog posts, on Instagram, everywhere. It means everything in the world to me, and I really want to thank you. All of this is possible because of you. So, with that being said, let's get into some of the topics that I figured we'd talk about this month. I guess the biggest thing that's going on right now is the coronavirus and how it's impacting all of us, how it's impacting the world, how it's impacting everything. And while it can be pretty negative, I really try to focus on the positive side of it is that it's really a time for restart, change, restructure, just bringing new things into the world and bringing new things into your life. I've been focusing on what I want to do differently in my life and things I want to do in the world and the things I want to do to change in the world. And I'm really interested to hear what you guys are doing. Are you listening more to music? Are you reading more books? What are you doing? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have some great ideas, maybe some ideas that you can share with others. Unfortunately, there's a couple of musicians who have announced that they have the coronavirus, one of them including Chuck Billy, who made me very sad when I heard that. But I know Chuck is strong, and even though I know he dealt with cancer some years ago, is in total remission, and I'm sure that he will be okay. There are a few other artists. I recently saw David Bryan, the keyboardist from Bon Jovi. I just saw it today, today being March 27th, that the singer of Rammstein is sick. So it's definitely something serious. It's something to take into account. But with their help and with God's help or whatever you believe in, everything will be okay and we will get through all of this and we will weather the storm. Unfortunately, what it is doing, it is causing a lot of cancellations of some upcoming tours. And one of the things that I wanted to lead into was the big tour coming up with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett. Now, when I heard about this tour, I had started to see the rumors that Motley Crue was going to go back out on tour, which at first I thought they signed these contracts and they weren't supposed to be going back out on tour, and I was a little skeptical about it and everything. But in thinking about it a little bit more, once the announcement actually came out, I said, why don't they deserve their share? Why don't they deserve their piece of the pie? And although I love old Motley Crue, I'm not necessarily the biggest Motley Crue fan, but I love Shout at the Devil. I love their old stuff. The movie The Dirt was pretty good. I wouldn't pay to go see it today, but I'm curious. What do you think? Are you still a fan of the band? Have you ever been a fan of the band? Would you go see them? Would you pay all that money? The other thing that comes up that's been bothering me a little bit about it is that everybody has claimed that Vince Neil has gained weight, that his voice is not the same anymore, and why should they put down money for a show that's probably not going to be that good? Now, the members of the band have said that, all of them are working out. They're talking with trainers, nutritionists, and everything to get in the best shape of their lives. So let's see what happens. But let me know what you think. Did you get tickets? Are you going to go to the show? Let me know your thoughts. One of the next things that came up in the heavy metal world was Ozzy announcing that he has Parkinson's disease, which caused him to cancel his No More Tours 2 that was going to happen this coming year. However, him and Sharon did go on TV to state that he has a form of Parkinson's and that there are many, many different forms of Parkinson's. So as you see in the interviews, and you can catch them all on YouTube or online, they did look very, very sad about it, but they seem hopeful as well, which is good. Ozzy is one of those people who will never die. And with all the things that he's gone through in his life, him and Keith Richards will probably be the two people that we leave things for in this world. Another great thing, another great announcement, Dave Mustaine has announced that he is cancer-free, he is in remission, and he is 100% clear, which is really, really great. Now, I did see an announcement yesterday that his sister did pass away, which is very sad, and we send our condolences to Dave. So it definitely has been a bit of a rocky road for Dave, but we wish him well. Now, one of the other things that I saw recently was I happened to come across an interview online by Joe Elliott. Now, Joe Elliott, the singer of Def Leppard. Now, I don't often like to comment on things that people say because sometimes I wonder if interviews are misconstrued or taken out of context. However, one of the things that Joe said in the interview was he said that there were only two major bands from the new wave of British heavy metal, one being Def Leppard and the other being Iron Maiden. Now, while yes, I love Def Leppard, I love Iron Maiden, I wouldn't say those were the only two bands to come out of the new wave of British heavy metal. There are definitely many, many others, one being first and foremost Judas Priest. So my question is, Joe, what are you talking about? Over the years, Joe has definitely said things that have offended people. He comes up with some statements that you're just like, okay, buddy, whatever. But this one I really, really disagree with him on. And he needs to remember some of the other great bands, such as Judas Priest, such as Motorhead. The list goes on and on and on. What are some of your favorite new wave of British heavy metal bands? Finally, one of the things that I wanted to point out to you is if you watch the Goldbergs at all, there's an episode, a couple episodes back, with Tommy Lee playing the principal in the school. And recently an episode of The Connors where Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne make a guest appearance on the show. They're both really fun episodes, and the Ozzy and Sharon episode on The Connors, they appear at the end of the episode. You can catch it on Hulu or you can catch it on the ABC app. Well, that's about it for this month, but I first and foremost want to say thank you all so much once again for listening to the podcast and for all the support that you give the Metal Wire. Again, this all wouldn't be possible without all of you. And I also want to say thanks to the people behind the scenes. I want to thank Jerry Gonzalez for all the great art for the Metal Wire. Our site is kick-ass because of the art that you do. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out his work at jerrygonzalezart.com, or you can check him out on Instagram at jerrygo_art. Check his work out. You'll love it. I also want to thank my friends behind the scenes who I've known all my life practically, who make my Metal Wire a success and help me nurture my metal baby. Thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. We're going to close out today's podcast with a track from a band called Vessel of Light, which is comprised of Dan Lorenzo, who I have interviewed on this podcast, which was an awesome interview a couple months ago. The band made up of Dan Lorenzo, who was a founding member of Hades and Nonfiction, Nathan Opposition from the band Ancient Wisdom, Ron Lipnicki, who was also in Hades and as well as Overkill, and Jimmy Shulman, who was also a member of Hades. They put out a great new CD called Thy Serpent Rise, and today we're going to check out their track Rush of Blood. It's an awesome track. Definitely go find their album, get it, support them. When bands go back out on tour, make sure you go and you see their upcoming live shows. Awesome, awesome CD. Check out the track here, and once again, thank you so much. And to follow them, you can go to their Instagram page, Vessel of Light Music on Instagram, and Vessel of Light on Facebook. Again, thanks, guys, and always remember, keep it hard, keep it heavy, and keep it metal. See you next month.